Hello there. Today I'm at the International Pinot Noir Conference in Christchurch, and I've got in my glass some Aroha Pinot Noir 2020 from Craggy Range winery. So Craggy Range, a winery owned by American investors, the Peabody family, based in Hawke's Bay, also with 250 hectares of vineyards in Te Reo in the Martinborough region, where they cultivate Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Noir. This particular wine, Aroha, is their best Martinborough Pinot Noir, and it's made as a selection of the best lots from amongst those 250 hectares of vines. So that lot may vary, and thus the clonal composition, for instance, changes from year to year. So while in 2019 and 2021, blocks that were planted with the Able clone of Pinot Noir were used, in 2020 the fruit has come off blocks that are planted with Dijon clones, so I believe 114 and 115. Thus the Dijon clones tend to give more sort of brightness, freshness and perfume, whereas in years where the Able clone is utilised, those are sort of richer, fuller styles. So let's have a look at the wine, shall we? Got it here in a lovely big Pinot glass, swirling it to make sure we can fully appreciate the aromas. It says this is 13.8% alcohol, and it is forming tears quite readily there in the glass, not surprisingly. There also seems to be slight touches of prickle of CO2 there. The colour is a relatively dark ruby, but it's not particularly deep. I can see through it fairly easily. The aromas do have a lovely lifted top note of red cherries, red fruit, raspberry, that sort of slightly ethereal note with a touch of spice over the top there. So that, I'm assuming, is the wine having aged in oak. There's some lovely complexity and there's plenty going on in the aromas. Perhaps just some hints of savoury notes, maybe the oak coming through, a little bit of forest floor sort of development from the fruit, but just a tiny touch. So let's have a taste. On the palate there's a lovely freshness, but also quite a fine, almost sort of powdery nature to the tannin. There's some good drying grip. The alcohol's just giving a little bit of roundness to the finish, but it doesn't feel hot. There's a juicy red cherry nature to the whole thing. A sort of a lifted red plum touch as well. So yes, an attractive wine, but with some nice depth without being heavy. This is a wine that's got a little more elegance and sort of less of the earthy nature than I'd normally associate with a Martinborough Pinot Noir. It's a wine that's given its balance, its freshness, would probably actually age quite well. It's not a huge wine that has intensity that will make it age, but it's got balance. So yes, possibly a wine to come back to in 4 or 5 years' time, and the texture will have completely smoothed out, and there'll be more of those secondary notes there. As long as it maintains its freshness and its lovely perfume, it'll be very attractive. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you found the tasting of interest. If you have, please press the like button. If you have any comments, please pop those in the comments box below. If you have any friends you think might like to watch the video, do feel free to pass it on to them. I'll leave a link in the notes below to the Wine Searcher webpage for this vintage of this wine, so that you can follow that and you can find out more about its availability and its pricing in your market. There's also a lot more background information there that you can follow up with. So thank you again for watching. I'm going to get back to the Pinot Conference now. Hopefully see you again at another tasting very soon. Bye for now.